Hi, this is Mimi. Welcome to Tarot Cards for Humanity. This is the draw for the weekend of today, September 10th, Saturday, and then Sunday, September 11th. So we're going to start with the Tetragrammaton. I'm using the Night Sun Tarot. This is one of my two favorite tarots that I have. I just think the images are amazing. If you don't have this tarot, it's Thoth-based, so it's slightly different than the typical and the majority of decks that are Rider-Waite-Smith-based. But it is the coolest magus or a magician or whatever you want to call him in this deck than I've ever seen. In fact, I am just going to pull him out really quick because I just think he is the coolest. That up there. Today we're just doing this from the floor. Seem to have less difficulty, but it is so friggin' cool. Look at all the snakes coming out of his mouth. So anyway, I'm going to be using this deck today. Again, we're starting with Tetragrammaton. Then I'm going to do, based on the Thoth system, I'm going to do I did it last time. I can't think of the name of it, but it's for both days. I'm going to pull basically 3 cards, and then it's the second operation or the third operation of the opening of the key. I don't know. Anyway, on with the show. Right, I love this deck. Right. Tetragrammaton. Find out where we the Fool, Aleph, 0. The newbie. Need to focus our attention. And in what Kabbalistic world? So where our energies need to be focused, alright? So I'm going to start over here. So I guess you can see that. Yeah? This is Absolute. And then we've got Yetzirah. And then we've got Bria, and then we've got Asya. So we're going to start with Absolute, and remember we're looking for our card, the Fool. And if you are going to be shopping for a deck or looking for a deck, this was Absolute. We're not in there. This one is it's a little bit on the dark side, but it's just really cool artwork. Here we are. We are upright in Bria, almost at the bottom. The Fool. I love him. He's got the chaos symbol around his neck. Just a really, really cool, cool imagery. So the Fool in Bria, Bria being our place of emotions, intuition, romance, friendship, relationships, and we're in the upright position, meaning we're using our best attributes. We're using the our nature, being open-eyed, wide-eyed, not imposing our thoughts or our preconceived notions on a situation. And I think what we're being told here is we're being invited to keep this mentality when it comes to things of a family relationship. If there is something going on in your family where there's a lot of people talking, Perhaps there is a commonly discussed disruption in the family, or elephant in the room, or however you want to put it. If you do have something like this, and even if it's not a large family, or if it's maybe a group of friends at work, but I'm getting the feeling it's a group of people, it's basically saying, don't go with assumptions, don't go with your preconceived ideas about the people involved, because this does feel like people involved in this. Don't go with preconceived notions on your part. Also, don't jump to conclusions based on the preconceived notions of someone else. Try to get real truth. So if it is to do with work or a group of friends, or if it's a family, and with families, you know, those can be very sticky situations. But do your very best to remain open-minded, unassuming, and look at the situation brand new, as if you know nothing about the situation, you know nothing about the history. Consider everything with new eyes. Okay? Hope that makes sense. So that's Bria. Focus our attention on that. Keep that I don't know till I know mentality when it comes to, particularly when it comes to things on an emotional level for those that you love, when it comes to those that you love. All right, so let's move on to our triads. I think that was the word I was looking for. 7. And we'll do 2 days, Saturday the 10th, 7th, and Sunday the 11th. I didn't come pre-prepared, I'm sorry, with my aspectarian, so I'm going to look at it on my computer as I'm going through this. So this is going to be for Saturday. Let me just pull that up really quick. What is going on astrologically? Of course, this is if you do not follow sidereal astrology, but instead follow the traditional Western astrology. So, moving into September 10th today, the moon enters Capricorn, and it's ruled by Saturn. So, with the moon in Capricorn, it's kind of going to seem depressing at times. You might feel a bit down. Because the moon is emotions, and Saturn is kind of based on rules, limitations, regulations. It's the planet of form of, okay, yeah, but we've got gravity to deal with. Okay, we've got concrete things that need to be completed. So with that on Saturday, just keep that in mind. It can be very depressing, limiting, making you feel limited. Try not to let that get to you. It's only for a short while that it's in Capricorn. And then Neptune is actually going to be squaring with Sagittarius and Pisces, which is making that a bit worse too. So try not to let it get to you. Okay, so that is Saturday. Let's get back to the cards and do our triad. I think I got that term right. All right. Boom. Boom, boom. So we've got water flanked by air and by fire. We've got the 4 of Cups. Oops. The 4 of Cups flanked by the Tower in reverse and the Page of Air. So the Tower being its reversed and is kind of negated by the water, the only thing that's really doing anything to this element here is the air, the messenger. So I think as it relates to the 4 of Cups, 4 of Cups is kind of about, the thought deck calls it luxury. Sometimes it's called losing your acute sensitivity to things, to a sense of lack. So it could be that you are focusing on things that you already have. In fact, I think we had this last reading. And it kind of makes sense with the way the stars are aligned today. It's going to be really easy to get sort of bogged down on things that seem depressing at face value. Particularly just with the Page of Swords here, he's typically someone who gives you information or shares news with you in a very undiplomatic, perfunctory, perhaps inflammatory way, which can leave you, especially again in this astrological climate, feeling quite blue, quite down. But remember to look at more than just face value. Remember to look at more than just the message. The Four of Cups reminds us to not get bogged down in the depressing details, to not get honed in and focused in on our lack of something. Remember, there is something greater, and just hold on, hang in there. Use your mind at the acute ability to see more than what is at face value. That's a spiritual gift. Use that. Okay, so that's for today, Saturday. Don't let any kind of perfunctory information that's passed on to you, or a remark or a comment, hurt you. And also, with all the energies making you feel kind of down in the dumps anyway, with Saturn, Moon and Saturn and Neptune squaring with Sagittarius, just try to ride it out and try to look for those blessings and those gifts, because they're there. I assure you, things feel a lot worse than they are, especially when someone communicates something to you in a rude, perfunctory, thoughtless, tactless, insensitive way. All right? Keep your head up. That's Saturday. Let's look on to Sunday. Now, looking at Sunday's astrology, being that it was kind of a depressing day in history, there are some astrological aspects that would kind of go along with that. So, strangely enough, Venus was squaring with Pluto at 14 degrees in Libra / Capricorn around the early hours of the morning. So, being that tomorrow, September 11th, is kind of a depressing day, a very sad day in history, you might feel this even more pronounced tomorrow. You might also have a tendency to react angrily. Try not to do that. Try to use logic and compassion as well as angry, knee-jerk, reactionary activities. Because when you react, you're not really engaging all of your faculties. When you act, you have much more control over the way in which you are handling a situation. Okay? The moon is sextile with Neptune as well. So at this point in time, particularly as we're moving toward fall and the veil getting thinner and thinner between dimensions, it's a good time to maybe, say a prayer or meditation, or give some thought and light a candle, put a goblet of water out to your loved ones that have passed. If you notice a lot of white moths around you, or other types of things like, I don't know, I saw a centipede fairly recently when I was walking outside, just out of nowhere. I don't see them ever, and I saw one. That generally means there's a lot of spiritual activity around you. And that's not uncommon this time of year. We're coming to the Celtic New Year, the close of the seasons, heading into the beginnings of the death of green. Persephone is going down into the underworld shortly. Hecate is guiding her. So use this opportunity to look into things of yourself or about yourself that you maybe don't like, maybe insecurities, maybe a tendency to be bossy. I know that's something that I do, a controlling tendency, fearful tendencies. Use this opportunity, this allegory of this time right now, to reflect on things from where you can grow. I say enough, it's crazy. Anyway, all right, so let's go on with our triad for Sunday. Again, kind of a sober day. Not an unproductive day, not entirely just for sorrow, but certainly a time for reflection. particularly if you believe that there is something beyond, and you do understand that there is another world, and that we're all connected in that way. So try to use that time as a reflection rather than to sort of drown in sorrow. I'm making this way too long. All right, the triad is 1, 2, hey, 3. Okay. So here today we have in the center, for Sunday, we have Thou, sorry, not just Thou, the Hierophant, or Hierophant, however you want to put it. And he is flanked by the Page of Coins, and he is paged by the Moon in reverse. So neither of them do anything particular to him in terms of elements. The Moon in reverse is water, it's in reverse, doesn't do a whole lot. The Hierophant is Earth, its sign is Taurus, and it's ruled by Venus. So this little Earth guy over here, the Page of Coins, is not going to do anything to him. So just as he is, basically the Hierophant, excuse me, apparently I still have the clap. The Hierophant basically is about orthodoxy, the rules, whether it's church, state, politics. It's about the status quo, the way things are at the moment. So it may be in our best interest as a whole to reside, to find supper in some, not all, but in some of those traditional values that we as humans share. It's not right to hit your mom. It's not right to hit anyone or hurt anyone. Those basic golden rule type of things that we live by. I think sometimes this gives us comfort in times that are particularly sad, reminding us of times that we're not in control of things, such as 9/11. So rely on this idea, this figure, this institution of generally accepted basic ideas for humanity. What is good? What is kind? What is reasonable between you and your sisters and brothers and in between? What is compassionate? Show that compassion. But find some comfort in some of the structures that we hold dear. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them have complete control over you. Certainly these are our structures, but the structures are there for us to lean on and use that at this time, particularly tomorrow when there's a large scale amount of sorrow. Yeah. Okay, so that is it for the tarot cards for humanity for Saturday and for Sunday. I apologize, it's quite waffly, and I apologize that it's a little bit late in the day on Saturday, and I wasn't quite prepared as well with my astrological aspects, so well, I'm not going to apologize again. But anyway, if you did tune in and watch and stay all this time at nearly 20 minutes, it is much appreciated. Thank you. To my one friend that is always watching, hey Cindy, I love you, sister. And I think that's it. And any family that might watch too, I love you guys too. That's it. So have a good, blessed Saturday and a blessed Sunday. Remember the human element and compassion and love with all creatures, everyone that you come in contact with, particularly tomorrow. We're all hurting from that. And I will see you guys Monday, either Sunday or Monday for the week. All right. Thanks, guys, for your time. Have a great day.